What up, 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 what up? What's going on out there, America? It's your boy Rod and Don. We back in the building. As always, excited to give you another dope episode of Brooklyn Bears and Ball Sports Show. Listen, I'm feeling a little better now. I'm a little better. I'm doing a little better. You know, I'm getting there. It's you know, we getting through the week here, and so it's a good thing. I'm okay. Still a little down, but I'm okay. I'm here. All right. But nevertheless, we're here, you're there, and we need you to do us a favor. We need you to like, we need you to share, we need you to comment, we need you to get engaged to this show and everything that we put out from this platform here, Brooklyn Bears and Ball Sports Show. We appreciate all the love y'all been showing us, but tag some people and smash that like button. Make sure you get this out there because we got a lot of NFL we getting ready to talk about. And of course, Don hasn't changed his clothes yet, y'all. I don't think he's shy with it since Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, same clothes, you know.
Oh, I don't think I had this on, but
yeah, it all looks the same. It just all looks the same. You know what I'm saying? But but nevertheless, D is the man. Okay. D, what do you got to say? What do you got to say, my brother? Talk to us.
What a wonderful week, man. I'm glad that you're doing better. I'm glad that and I'm not here to expose any wounds and you're in the healing process, I want to encourage that. I want to encourage the healing.
Thank you.
But we have a good show, and we're gonna discuss a few games and see where it goes, man. But without further ado, man, let's get into it. Week 6 is here already. It seems like the NFL season is, starting to pick up steam. It's been pretty great so far. Well, for the Niners, it's been fantastic. But I think we have some really interesting games to discuss. Week 6, we have San Francisco versus the Cleveland Browns. Now, we understand that the Cleveland Browns had a huge loss in Nick Chubb. I mean, he is a awesome running back, and he's lost for the season. Now, for those that don't know, Nick Chubb had already suffered a very, very bad knee injury in college, and it was thought that his potential NFL season was finished, but he worked hard and came all the way back, and he was a extremely productive running back in the NFL. Fast forward to a couple of weeks ago, he got injured. He's lost for the season. But I'll tell you this, Deshaun Watson ahead of schedule. He doesn't want the smoke. So he already started trying to play hurt because he knew and he knows what the 49ers are potentially going to do to him on Sunday. So he's already, you ever had kids and you didn't want to go to school, so a few days ahead you had a test, and I got something in my throat, I got a little scratch, because you don't want to actually be there, or you want to try to figure out how to get out of it. Well, Deshaun Watson, he looked on the schedule, he saw that the Niners were coming up, and he said, "Yo, how can I have a shoulder injury now, and I know I'm getting paid a gazillion dollars a snap, but you know what? I don't think I want to see them." We are the gooch. And so you know how you never see
seen the gooch, right?
You never seen what the gooch
never saw the gooch look like, right?
I mean, you saw what the gooch looked like, but we're the gooch. So I don't blame Deshaun Watson for ducking the smoke and being smart enough so it doesn't appear obvious that he doesn't want to play us to automatically, a week ahead. You know what? He was medically cleared to play and still didn't want to do it. He was like, nah, because I got to play the Niners next week. So let me just, let me try to duck this. But in any case, I thought that this is going to be still a very good game because Cleveland's defense is official. They have a really good D. But I think overall, our offense is going to prevail. I think the things that we do well works against, Cleveland's strengths. And I'll say this, if Deshaun Watson plays, which it's in question, that he'll play, I think we'll be able to, because Deshaun Watson is not back to complete form, where he was balling out. So he's still kind of working his way back in. And so with guaranteed money, I'll say this. This is something typically quarterbacks that didn't get the check or didn't get the bag yet, they're with injuries, they're a little more reluctant to put themselves out there because they realize just as valuable as you are now, once you get injured, you'll be discarded.
Correct.
As trash. Correct. So he has the guaranteed money. So I don't know why he would not want to. He's not in a contract year. So it's not like I don't want to put out bad tape and then not get paid. You got paid already. Cleveland already gave you everything that you wanted and more. So I don't understand why he's trying to duck or claim injury, although he was medically cleared. But I do like our chances. I don't know exactly what the spread is. I think it might be 5 points or something. I do think that the Niners, because the defense and our offense, the way it's clicking, I do like us to get a victory. Once again, this is not college. We play on Sundays. We're not worried about Saturday. We're not worried about running up the score and all that. We just want two things all the way through February. We want to get through the game. We want to get the victory, and we want to get through the game healthy and intact. That's all that matters to us. What do you say?
No, I mean, the gooch. Yeah, we saw the gooch. We actually saw the gooch in the worst way last week. And Cleveland's going to see the gooch as well. But I will say this, though. They won't blow them out the way they did Dallas, unfortunately, because I think Cleveland, as you stated, they got a really good defense, okay? When you look at their defense is only giving up pass yards allowed 148 yards. That's really, really good, okay? And they only give up rushing yards for the season on an average of 71. Now, the 49ers only give up 64, so they're a little better against the run. Pass yards, they give up 220. So there's a huge, about almost an 80-yard differential between what the 49ers give up versus what the Cleveland Browns give up defensively. But it won't make a difference because it's still about how efficient the 49ers are. And that's the thing. And then again, it's always these matchups when you say, here's a good defense that could actually probably do something against an offense like this. But the problem is that Shanahan's offense and the guys that execute his offense is so flawless. I mean, it's very, very little room for mistake. And the way they play, how they execute, the way they scheme, it's really hard. And so it doesn't even matter how good a defense is. Like, they can be good statistic-wise. They could be good maybe up front with certain things or have certain strengths to them. But the thing that Shanahan does, he knows how to out-scheme you. His schemes will put a defense in a disadvantage, right? Or keep them at a disadvantage. And so, the Niners are going to come in there. They're going to handle business. PJ Walker, he not it. It's not going to happen. Now, Watson was playing with a great deal of health, and it sounds like he's not going to be playing. He's questionable, but I think Stefanski or their head coach had already talked about possibly what's his name coming into play anyway. I think he said that Walker's going to serve, he's going to be the Browns' backup, but there's still some up and down about, whether or not he'll start. Many sources are saying that most likely he will. It's not going to make much of a difference. I got the Niners winning this game, pretty, I won't say fairly easy, but they'll win this game. It won't be a problem at all, So I don't see much happening. Not having Chubb, that's a loss. That's a major loss for them. It's so unfortunate because I love Nick Chubb. I'm a big Nick Chubb fan, and it was sad to see him get hurt in the manner in which he did. So, but nevertheless, man, without Watson, it won't even matter. And Watson's not even really playing like the Watson of old, right? And that we saw in Houston. So, it's still, I don't know, the system it's going to take some time, but he's looking real generic to me. He's not looking like the eye-popping quarterback that he was when he was in Houston. So I don't know what he needs to do to get back to that level again, but it just doesn't seem like it's right. So, but nevertheless, it is what it is. So, yeah.
Just a correction on the spread. The spread is 7 points, and the over/under is 37. So it don't look like Watson is playing. I mean, listen, 37 points?
Nah.
I don't know. How much did we put up on you guys?
Now, Donald, you said in the beginning of the show, right? You said in the beginning of the show, you said, I'm not going to open up wounds.
I did. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
That's America. Y'all heard him say that, right?
I
but
did.
I
I'm
know
sorry.
deep in my heart that Donald wasn't going to hold to that. Some point across the show,
I just want to use the numbers just in comparison. The over under for two teams is 37, and I just wanted as a point of reference what we averaged over 30 points a week, and we put up 42. So I just that was the reason. No other reason than that.
No other reason. There's no ulterior motive, nothing else in there that you
not at all.
Yeah. Okay.
So can we get a score for this game and before we move on?
I got Niners winning 33. Like 33-13.
33-13. Okay.
Yeah. 33-13.
I think hopefully we can pull our starters by the fourth quarter. So I would like for us to jump on them. Okay. Now it is a 1 o'clock game.
Again, America. You see again. Right now, this has the 49ers starters ever been able to sit at any point this year except against the Cowboys, right? You see what I'm saying? So you hear Donald say, hopefully we can pull our starters again. Like, do you see all of that? Do you see my goodness. America, listen, Cowboy fans out there, if you're listening, okay, this is the kind of stuff Don does. He didn't need to say that. It was no reason to say that because there was only happening against Dallas that they was able to pull their starters by midway through the first quarter. But it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
I'm
sorry.
Right. No, listen. You have a right to do that. You've earned that right. Okay, 42-10. You could say whatever you want. I'm just bringing out the fact that you said you was gonna be nice, but okay. But in your I should
rephrase it. Hopefully, the Niners starters won't have to play the entire game. Hopefully, we're able to establish a lead early. And can rest the starters for week 7. Okay. Hopefully that'll be the case. But I do think it may start off somewhat competitive because they have a good defense. We are playing on the road, so of course the Dog Pound. They really have a great fan base, a loyal fan base.
Yeah, they are.
But I think ultimately we'll prevail. I like it 27-10. I like it 27-10 Niners. Okay. Yeah. Especially if PJ Walker plays
20 okay, yeah. That's 20, we said 27-10. Okay.
Yeah. If PJ Walker plays, 27-10. They'll be able to put up 10 points. Maybe a little more, but it should be a good game.
Yeah.
For us. Moving on. Let's talk about this is an interesting game. Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Jets. I think overall, although Philly is undefeated, they haven't been an impressive undefeated team. It's been a little questionable as to how they're winning. Now, their defense has been really, really good. Really, really good. I think the offense is not totally clicking, but we're only comparing it to last year, which may not be a fair comparison because they lost their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. So for a team to have that type of upheaval and still be undefeated, hats go off to them. That shows a good team. That shows enough players that remain from last year to once again be able to take on the new philosophy of the team. Yeah. Ingratiate the new players and be able to really pick up where they left off, if you will. I mean, they lost the Super Bowl, but to be able to pick up where they left off from a season-to-season standpoint. But the Jets, it seems like I don't know if they found something. I don't know if it was just a revenge game for Hackett to get back at Denver and the comments that were made about his coaching being the worst coaching job ever, that the team galvanized around their, offensive coordinator in order to ball out and get that W, or maybe they found something. I don't know. It seems like the Jets quarterback seems more confident.
Yeah, Zach.
Zach Wilson seems more confident. It seems like they are behind him. whether it's, I mean, I don't know if they're holding out that, the quarterback is coming back. He's not coming back this season. There's no way, no how he's coming back.
Nah, even though he says
he's 39 years old, so the injury will not allow him. I mean, I know they're doing. Maybe he was on, the hallucinogenic drug when he said that he would be back this season. It's not going to happen, but maybe the Jets, the defense is good. If they can put up some points, if they can somehow, some way, keep the game close. I mean, because if you look at the way Philly's been playing, they haven't been blowing any teams out. The teams have had opportunities to win. It's just their sheer grit and their ability to win. They know how to win, and in the leadership of Jalen Hurts and those veteran players, they know how to get a W in a tightly contested game. But if the Jets somehow, some way, and Zach Wilson can make some connections, if Breece Hall can have the type of game he had against Denver, they have a shot. I'm going to put the Eagles on upset alert. I'm going to put them on upset alert because this potentially has a game. Potentially is a game. I don't know who they play next week. I don't know if they're looking past them. I don't know if they're just counting this as an automatic W. And I don't take Jalen Hurts as that type of person. I think he is more measured, where he appreciates the fact that he's playing well and what this team could potentially do. But I'm putting them on upset alert. It's possible. I'm not saying that it'll happen, but the Jets can play gritty enough. And if they keep this game close, if they have long, methodical drives, if the run game is clicking the way it was last week, they certainly have a shot. What do you say?
No, I definitely agree. And they actually have Miami coming up next, the Eagles. So, you would hope that they're not looking past them, the Jets, that is, and already looking in the backyard of Miami, because that you're going to make the mistake. Hence, Dallas did with Phoenix. The thing is this, right? You got to appreciate what Nathaniel Hackett and the coaching staff in New York or New Jersey, I still call them New Jersey Jets and New Jersey Giants because they technically play in New Jersey. That's a whole other thing. That's a little pet peeve of mine. But nevertheless, the whole thing is that they've created and made I won't say created, but they've adjusted the offense now to fit Zach Wilson, to make sure that he's comfortable with the offense now that he's running. Beginning of the season, everything was centered around Aaron Rodgers. Obviously so. He was the center of it all. He was going to make things happen based on what was installed according to his comfortability. I'm sure whatever Aaron wanted to have, if it was stuff that he obviously may have brought over from Green Bay, things that he likes to do throughout his career, that was what was put into that game plan. But that doesn't work for Zach, right? Zach is not that guy because, obviously Aaron can improvise. Aaron can, he knows how to audible out of things. He has his audibles. He has his hots. He knows what to do. So that's just the type of quarterback he is. That's why he's a Hall of Famer. Zach is not that dude, right? He's got to be a little bit more methodical. There's got to be some easier reads, make things more comfortable for him so that he can kind of get into a rhythm and do the things that he need to do. Trust the run game. And then, of course, obviously trust their defense. That's what we've seen the last couple of weeks. This offense now is running the way Zach likes it to run. It's suited to his ability. It's suited to his style. Get the ball to your playmakers. We're going to run Breece. We're going to, try to make sure we get Wilson involved. Let's make sure we see one-on-one matchups. Make it happen. Quick reads. Let's get the ball out. Let's not overthink, because the Jets' offensive line is not that great either. Because to me, what was going to be interesting from my perspective of this Jet team was how they were going to protect Aaron Rodgers. And we saw the first 3 plays or four plays of the year that Aaron did play. He was under duress every single down, okay? So that offensive line is not great. So now you got Zach out there. That makes it even harder. So you're going to have to definitely make these adjustments, rely on that running game, get quick outs, bubbles, screens, different things to keep the heat off your not to expose your offensive line. And I think so we're seeing with Zach. Look, you made a good point, D. The team seems to be supporting him now, right? But they completely disrespected him last year. Mike White this, Mike White that, the T-shirts, the whole nine, right? Now they're supporting him, and maybe by default, because there is no other option right now, right? You know what I mean? And I don't think they're going to go and trade for Kirk Cousins or anything like that, because who's going to give up all the draft picks or pick up anything for that? Because Kirk Cousins is not a long-term solution, right? You're going to bring him in, and then he's gone, and then, obviously you're going to have Aaron coming back next season. I don't see them doing that. I think with this situation here, the Jets stand a good chance of winning this game. I like what you're saying. There's some rallying around Zach. He's got more confidence, more poise, and this actually makes Salah look good, because Salah's been sticking with him, all right, in ways that were completely inexplicable to many of us, but he's been sticking with him, and we can see him coming into his own. This is a game. I won't say this is a home game for the New Jersey Jets, because they're right there in Philly. So, there's going to be a plethora of Philly fans all over, because they traveled big out in LA last week against the Rams. They were out there. I mean, I couldn't tell. If my eyes was closed, I wouldn't know who the home team was, because they was making so much noise out there. But I like the Jets. They won't win. My heart would love them to beat them, because I like them to beat the Eagles, because I hate the Philadelphia Feebles at all costs. But I would like to see the Jets win. I think they can win, and that defense could be good. Every game that the Eagles have played, when you look at what they've done, D, 23-14 last week before that, overtime with Washington, 25-11 against Tampa Bay. Week 2, it was 34-28 against Minnesota, but that game was still a little close. Even, you know what I'm saying? That's still a one-score game. And then 25-20 against the Patriots, all right? Every game has tied to it just one play. One play can change the whole complexion and the outcome of a game. And that's how close it's been for the Eagles. So they've been playing with fire, even against lesser quality opponents. So I think the Jets could pull this out. If this game gets close, it could be a problem, and that defense can make some things happen. I'm predicting they'll get at least two turnovers, two crucial turnovers. Now, I don't know if they will impact the outcome, but they will come at a time that's going to give the Jets an opportunity to perhaps make something happen. So that's what I say to this game.
So the spread on this is only 7 points, and the over/under is 41. So the odds makers are expecting this to be a fairly low-scoring game,
right?
And with a 7-point point differential, I think that I guess they're looking for the Eagles to blow them out, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be a field goal game. Would it surprise me? It would be an upset if the Jets won, obviously, but it all depends on the game plan. It all depends on how that run game is going.
Right.
If they can sustain the run, and I think Zach Wilson is going to have to lean on the run. He's not going to be able to gunsling it against them, although you can pass on them. The problem is you can't run on them.
Yeah.
The Eagles have been good against the run.
But you can pass on them. Absolutely.
But you can't abandon the run. You can't solely give it to Zach and say, hey, we need you to throw it 40 times. You're going to lose. It will be a blowout. Right. But if you keep them honest enough where they realize that they can't solely, you have to keep a balance where the run is possible. And Zach has mobility. He can hopefully extend plays. He needs to take risks, but calculated risks. He doesn't need to try to throw it into double coverage and try to get Garrett Wilson. He needs to be more measured that way. Right. But I do think that they need to start off with the run, kind of use that to tenderize the Eagles a little bit, and then try to go for the pass. But if they leave it solely up to, hey, you're just going to drop back, they will lose. So
I agree.
For a score, I'm going to say 28-21 Eagles.
28-21.
No, I don't like that. Scratch that.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a little closer. We'll say 27-24 Eagles.
Okay.
So I think it'll be close.
Eagles. Yeah, it'll be close. I like the Eagles 23-16.
23-16. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the next game. Dallas Cowboys versus the LA Chargers. They're not San Diego. LA Chargers.
Yeah, LA Chargers.
I think this is going to be a very interesting game. Austin Eckler, who has been out, I think, the last couple of weeks, said he is 99% sure that he's going to play Monday. That's when you guys play. 99% sure he's going to play Monday. So Austin Eckler is he's a great running back. He's out of the backfield. You can hand the ball. He is a bell cow back if I've ever heard one.
Right.
So he definitely boosts the offense. Now, we realize that the Chargers lost Mike Williams, which was their big play possession receiver down the field. They lost him. So he's done for the season. But you still got Keenan Allen, right? You got Joshua Palmer. You got Everett, their tight end. You got Parm, their other tight end. So they have players. They have a pretty good defense. Pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. So I think it's going to be interesting. And the biggest factor is Kellen Moore, who was the offensive coordinator, who was pretty much ousted. And then after he was ousted by Dallas, they started putting dirt on his name that, he was kind of made him the fall guy for Dallas's woes. And so this is a great opportunity for, Kellen to get some get back.
Yeah.
He saw what happened last week. They have the Chargers, which I will say this. No matter the outcome, other than if they win the Super Bowl, that Chargers head coaching seat is going to be open at the end of this season. I just think it's
I kind of agree with you there.
It's over. It's over. So Justin Herbert, strong arm. I think they have an opportunity. Justin Herbert and the Chargers have a real opportunity to really pretty much crush the Cowboys' almost playoff chances, their playoff hopes. This is a must-win. And usually in week 6, it wouldn't be a must-win game, because you figure, okay, I still have an opportunity to win my division. We'll see what happens. But with the Eagles being so far ahead and the Cowboys' schedule being as tough as it is moving forward, I think this is a must-win. You have to win this game in order to be at the point where you could still get into the playoffs and really make some noise. I mean, chances are you're going to be on the road. But depending on how players play, you don't want to play the number 1 seed out the gate. You want to try to go through some playoff games to kind of get to it. But we'll see what happens. I do think Kellen Moore has been licking his chops, and I'm sure he wants to get revenge on Mike McCarthy, who tried to make him, we want to. And this is what I don't understand. Your offense was way better last year than it is this year.
Absolutely.
And so Mike McCarthy, we want to run the ball more. Okay, well, your offense as a whole was better. I think Dak responded better. I think Mike McCarthy's play calling is antiquated. It's antiquated. And so we are seeing more and more that the antiquated coaches, the coaches that are more old school and don't adapt, they're getting left behind, i.e. Bill Belichick. These coaches you're going to see. Now, there are young coaches that are improving. I mean, Bill Belichick is still a defensive genius. But when it comes to offense, you see that those younger minds, innovative, who can think outside the box and think of ways to maximize their player skills, are going to thrive. So I think the Chargers head coaching job is going to be vacant at the end of this year. But in week 6, honestly, I'll say this. I do think the Cowboys are going to bounce back because this is a must win. I know you said the Super Bowl was last week. And if that being said, if that was the Super Bowl, then you guys are already clearing out your lockers. But since it's not, and you have another chance, this is your opportunity to bounce back. Dak is under some pressure. He's going to have to perform. He's going to have to show that he's worth the money that he's making. And against Kellen Moore, who knows him really well, knows his tendencies, we'll see what Dak does. What do you say?
Well, I'd say this. You talked about the archaic, obsolete game plan and offensive schemes of Mike McCarthy, which is very true. And so Mike McCarthy, who obviously said in the beginning of the year, I want to run the ball. I want to run the ball. I want to run the ball. Right. And so I get it. But the problem is that, you know, you haven't been running the ball well. You haven't been running the ball successfully. In fact, we're a whole yard less per rushing average this year than we were last year. And that's when we had Zeke Elliott. So it hasn't been looking well. Dallas is one of the last teams in the league in motion. Okay. We're not very creative, not very innovative offensively. We're pretty much just straight up. And, you know, Dak is going to just try to get the balls into where he can fit the windows and different things like that. We've not had a lot of success percentage-wise, according to Pro Football Focus, in relationship to Dak getting balls in tight windows, okay? It's not been very successful for Dallas in that sense. And so, again, you know, Dak holds the ball, you know, not sure of what he sees, he likes. You know, he's not using his legs, not like he did in the early part of his career. And again, I don't know, maybe if he's still having some trauma from the ankle break when he ran against the Giants that day and got hurt. But the whole thing is, to me, is that this game is critical. Now, Dallas has not failed to bounce back in the McCarthy era. Anytime we've had a loss, we've come back and we've won. And we've come back, we won soundly. Dallas has proven under McCarthy's administration that they can bounce back. I am concerned about this game nevertheless, okay? Offensively, this team, the Chargers that is very good, okay? They put up a lot of points. They put up a lot of yards. They actually average over 400 yards per game offensively. This is a very good team. They run the ball very well, 120 yards per average, okay? Passing yards, 288. That's crazy, okay? So this team is going to come. This is another challenge for our defense as we look at this here. The difference, though, between this team and the 49ers is that, again, it's the scheme. It's the way the 49ers did what they did, right? It's not like it didn't, although receivers was like wide open where there wasn't a Cowboy within the same zip code of Ayuk and Debo and Kittles when they were catching passes all day. But at the end of the day, it's the way that they scheme. But this team here, the Chargers, you know, they're going to throw it out, man. They're going to toss the ball around the yard. Eckler's going to try to, you know, get off and do his thing. So Dallas has a tough assignment. I'm very nervous about this game. Dallas does not win this game. Yeah, the season is pretty much over. And I'm more concerned about their psyche. I'm more concerned about their mindset coming into this game. I think that's where the problem is for Dallas. I think there's still a lot of grumbling. It's been reported. There's some speculation coming out of the camps that, you know, again, Dak's not comfortable with McCarthy's offensive system. McCarthy really, and this is what people are speculating, that he really doesn't feel Dak is that dude. He wants to keep things safe. He feels Dak is a turnover machine, and he really doesn't trust Dak. He doesn't think Dak is good for his offense. So you got a situation here, whether it's the player or the system. And that's where the battle has been coming in, and it doesn't really look good. I mean, to be the number one team in the league last year, 71% success rate in the red zone, to being dead last is deplorable. I mean, what a precipitous fall for the Cowboys when you look at such an important stat like that, right? And we just have not been able to look dominant. And under Kellen Moore, believe it or not, as though he may have not been as imaginative either, and, you know, his play, the problem with Kellen Moore, his play calling at particular times were very questionable. Wasn't that his offense wasn't good. It was just that his play calling, the rhythm, and sometimes the way he was calling plays became very questionable. But at the end of the day, Dallas was ranked number one in points for like the last 3 years under Kellen Moore. So, I mean, Kellen Moore can coach. He's a good OC. And Herbert is having a good season right now. Okay. So their offense is still looking good. This is going to be a game changer. Will Dallas win? I'll be honest, D, I don't know. I'm very nervous about this game. And if we don't win this game, you can forget it. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Are you coming over to the Niners if you guys?
No. I'm not coming over to the Niners.
There's room.
I mean, there's room at the altar. I'm not coming to the altar on this one. I'm a sitting pew on this one. You know what I'm saying? No. But I'm scared. I think Dallas can win this game. If we lose this game, I would not be surprised. But, you know, like I said, we got a little bit of history to pull from that's positive, and this is that Dallas has bounced back after every loss under McCarthy. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, he's all in this. I was so distraught. You know, it's been reported that he never went home when he got back from San Francisco. You know, told his coaches they can't see their wives and can't see their kids. And
Mike
you know what I'm
McCarthy?
saying? Yeah, Mike McCarthy. Yeah, he's he's living in the office and he wants to vote everybody, try to fix this offense, and he hasn't gone like I mean, it's I don't know, right? It's corny. It's like, come on, Mike. You know what I mean? You don't even.
Yeah, he's a corny coach. He's
corny. He's corny. He has there's zero
corny.
flavor with this dude, man. He's got zero swag, nothing. He's got nothing. He is so corny. So yeah, it's like, okay, whatever, Mike. Yeah, whatever. We'll see. All right, but yeah, I got the Chargers actually winning this game, but I got my heart for the Cowboys.
No, listen. Okay.
No, really. I'm just.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Enough now.
I'm being honest.
We gotta be like you tried to use this last week, and I didn't really call an end to it, but it needs to stop.
D, listen to me.
We are picking a game.
We're picking a game, right?
So I don't want you to then use that as a crutch. Oh, I want the Cowboys to win, but I picked the Chargers to win because you did that with the Niners and
right. But I said that.
No,
But I was saying that even before the show we did before the Niners.
So do you want to win? Want me to send you a hat? You want me to send you a jersey?
No.
So then you got to pick and stick with your team.
Listen.
Stick with your team.
This is a sports show, right?
It is.
We objectively analyze games and talk about players and teams, right? And we don't want to come off as this fanatic, with this level of fandom that we're just like senseless and not objective to our teams. Dallas, until they can prove to me that they can fix this offense, all right, because that's really what the problem is, and that the defense can get more disciplined than what they've shown in the last 3 weeks. Because remember, Arizona exposed. I said Phoenix last time. Arizona exposed us. Okay, yeah, we beat the brakes off the Patriots, but that ain't saying nothing, right?
That's
and that was a home game
at all.
And then we come right back into San Francisco, and we look even worse. Okay, as it would be expected because we're playing a more formidable opponent. So as far as I'm concerned, the last 3 weeks of football for the Cowboys has not been great. It has not been great. So I have nothing right now to believe, right, that this team is ready to do something to fix this offense, be imaginative, be creative enough, and then defensively, can we hold our gaps? Can we be? And then we got no LVE. So now we, got Damone Clark is back there now, right? And then we're gonna have to bring in what's the other kid that we drafted? I wish Overshown didn't get hurt this year. My God, he was balling out our third round draft pick in the preseason towards ACL for the season. I can't remember my other linebacker there. Those guys are gonna have to step up, right? They're going to have to really play because remember, Dallas plays with that secondary that comes in there where they like to use their safeties as linebackers to support in that intermediate area. But D, we are not looking good. And that's Dan Quinn and Mike McCarthy. So as far as I'm concerned, no. The way the Chargers are playing, and there's a lot at stake because Kellen wants to make this the revenge game, D. Trust me, I'm not trying to run cap on you. I'm not trying to run cap on America. I'm not trying to give you the old woe is me, and I'm just so sad. No, D. The Chargers, I'm picking them to win this game, but I hope Dallas wins. I want to be wrong, okay? But I just don't think that we will win this game. I really don't think. I really think that Dallas, if we get behind and we give up a long drive or there's no resistance to the Chargers offensively, Dallas is going to go into a dither. Their body language is going to be bad again. CD's going to whine. D. Lawrence, those guys, they're all going to look defeated. Michael Parsons, they're all going to get mad. Did you hear what Parsons said earlier this week? It was like, well, stopping the run, and what do we need to do to, what do you guys need to do to get more resistance in the interior? I'm just paraphrasing the question. He's like, I hold down the edge. That's all I do. I don't hold the middle. I don't do the middle. You know what I'm trying to say? So that you good, D? Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So he pretty much threw his other teammates under the bus. Like I don't have nothing to do with the middle. I set the edge. I don't have nothing to do with the middle. So I don't know. You got to talk to those guys. You know what I'm trying to say.
That infighting is that's problematic.
And McCarthy doesn't know how to do. I'm telling you, McCarthy is not that guy that I think knows how to corral guys and get them in. And once your leaders like Parsons and these guys and CD with bad language, these guys will be your leaders. Once they're talking like they're talking, it's not a good look. So I got the Chargers winning the game, but I'm hoping Dallas can bounce back as a fan. Because if we don't win this game, it's going to be tough sledding because our schedule is very hard this year. Very hard.
At some point, I'll say this. I get what you're saying, that you want a team to win, being a fan or, supporting a certain team. You want them to win.
Yeah.
But I think this is I'm just putting it out there that this is starting to become a pattern. It's becoming a pattern.
2 weeks in a row. It happened last week against y'all. You never heard me say anybody was able to beat Dallas.
Well, you have said that a few times. You said that a few times against the 49ers. Not this year, last year. You were saying the same thing.
Because y'all were a better team. I mean, just realistically speaking. The 49ers are a better team than Dallas, and they proved
so
it.
Are you fair weather? I just want to know if you're a fair weather fan.
I'm a logical fan. I'm a grounded fan. I'm a rooted fan. By the rivers of living water. I'm planted. Okay? I'm planted. That's kind of fan I am.
I just don't want you to be double-minded and unstable in all your ways.
Listen, I'm going to brag about my Cowboys. I'm going to brag about my Cowboys. Trust me, I will. I am going to brag about my Cowboys. And is Dallas still a good team, D? Yes, we are. Can Dallas win this game? Yes, they can. But when you watch this team and you look at the issues that are on the inside and schematically looking, this team, if they continue to do what they do and what they've been doing, and they try to come out there with that same offense, what they have with the Giants and the Jets and the Patriots, it's a wrap. You didn't prepare for the 49ers. You did not scheme for the 49ers. You thought what you've been doing was good enough to beat them, and it proved a disastrous for the Cowboys. And it'll be the same thing again. If you feel, well, we're going to go back to what we did in week 1, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. And you're not going to win. You're playing better quality opponents now. You beat the teams you should beat, but now you got to beat the teams that are now on your level, or if not better. So that's all I'm saying.
I think, the over-under is 51. So they're expecting it to be some points put up. Dallas is, but this is encouraging. Dallas is a 2-point favorite. It's a 2-point favorite on the road. So that should be impressive. Because usually you get 3 points for being at home. So the fact is they feel that Dallas is really 5 points better than them. That's what it's saying.
None of that. It just, I don't know.
They may still get the doors blown off of them, but I'm just saying.
Right, exactly.
Odds makers are saying that Dallas is at least 5 points better than the Chargers. So,
okay.
Well, all right. You have a score for us?
I'm going to go with 34. I'm going to go 34-28 Chargers.
I couldn't hear you. What team?
34-28 Chargers. I told them.
And now go Chargers, go.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, even the governor, the ex-governor is going for the Chargers. Everybody's going for the Chargers. Although I am not a Cowboys fan.
You don't have to be to say that we can win, that we'll win.
I do think that you guys will win this game.
Okay.
There are reasons that I think you will win this game.
I don't trust Dak either. I don't trust Dak. So I have a lot of issues with Dak. So yeah, that's just.
You can run on the Chargers. You're going to have to lean on Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is going to have a really good game. He's going to have
I think offensively, okay.
He's going to have an excellent game. Listen, you picked the Chargers. So don't try to, I can see. You picked the Chargers to win. Now all of a sudden you got, I can see where you're going with that. No, you didn't pick them though.
No, I did. But I do think, but you can't run on them. I don't think,
I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Cowboys, the alleged America's team. I think that they're going to win, and I like them to win and cover. I'm going to go with 30-24. 30-24 Cowboys. I think they're going to, and it's not going to be so much based on Dak. I think Tony Pollard is going to be a major catalyst. I think he may have 150 rushing. I think he's going to have that kind of game. He's going to have a really, really good game. And I think
Okay.
But Austin Eckler is going to ball. So that's why Austin Eckler is going to play. And so that's why I do think the Chargers are going to be able to put up some points. Keenan Allen's going to ball out. I think they're going to have, obviously, their position players are going to rock out. But I do think because the run game is going to be so good by Dallas, I like Tony Pollard. He's going to be exceptional. In my opinion, he's going to be the key to victory. So I like them to win 30-24.
Oh gosh. Okay. All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, you speaking about him like he Barry Sanders or something. Okay. All right. We're gonna see.
Well,
we're gonna see.
He arguably is top 5. He's top 5 running back. I mean,
Paul is a good back. He is.
When you're number one in a lot of things, right? You don't. It doesn't take anything away from you to give other teams and other players credit.
See,
CMC is the best running back.
You see what I'm saying, America? So now, because his team is so much more superior, he doesn't mind dishing out some accolades.
No.
But if the 49ers weren't as good, we wonder if he would still be objective.
I would
still say to somebody else.
I pride myself on being gracious in victory and defeat. I do.
Oh yeah, with subtle remarks here and there sprinkled. Okay.
Gracious. Grace.
Yeah, it's grace. Yeah, it's grace.
Unmerited favor, right? So I'm going to give some grace on that.
Oh, God. All right.
Okay, so we got the scores with that. Let's quickly talk about tonight's game. Listen, Travis Kelce last week was, I don't know if he was going in motion or he was going out, he was running and then just kind of fell like a sack of potatoes. And it looked one of those non-contact injuries that could be, oh man, this person's Achilles popped right on just a simple play. Nobody touched him and his Achilles popped. But thankfully, he was able to get back in the game.
Yeah.
And scored actually.
Yeah.
So there was talk that was it going to be a high ankle sprain, low ankle sprain. I just think it was just a slip, and he slightly hurt himself, but he was back, and maybe he felt pressure because Taylor was in the crowd. And you ever seen somebody? I mean, more so, not now, right? Because everyone has a video and everyone's ready to record and put you on World Star and all that stuff when you get knocked out. But remember back in the days, cats would fight fights that they normally wouldn't fight. But if their girl was there, they would just go the extra mile and try to prove. And I think, Travis, it wasn't a blowout. So Travis, fought it out and, made sure he was all right. And he actually played. I think they wrapped his ankle and he was able to finish the game. And there's talk that he's actually going to play tonight. So I think that's going to be good. But overall, I like Kansas City. I mean, that's not a hot take. No. I do say this: Russell Wilson has been playing better. So once again, as mentioned before the season, when we talked about who had more to prove, was it Russell Wilson or Sean Payton? And Sean Payton hasn't done a great job to me. I think Sean Payton is overrated. Let me just say this: be clear. I first guessed this: Sean Payton is overrated. He's overrated. People, name recognition takes you and gives you opportunities, but what you actually do, your character and what you really possess, it will give you the ability to maintain it. And so I think on name recognition and what he did to New Orleans and being so beloved and successful and his pedigree and being on a certain coaching tree and all of that gave him the opportunity. And let's face it, Denver was desperate. They were desperate after such a underwhelming, underperforming season the year prior to him coming. But he came here like he had healing in his wings, and he hasn't done anything. There's been a exponential improvement in Russell Wilson, and that could have been because of any coach exponentially could have coached better than Hackett and got the same results. But everybody thought Sean Payton was going to do this, have the Broncos with this complete 180. Now, granted, they've gone through injuries. They've had issues. But I think Sean Payton overall has a lot more to prove than Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson has been playing well. Now, first half to second half, there is a drop off. But overall, his numbers have been pretty amazing. Considering I think he's top 10, top 8 in most statistical categories. So he's been playing. He's had a bounce back year. I just think overall, we gave Sean Payton way too much credit. Way too much credit. What do you say?
Well, Russell Wilson, his QBR is at 45, but he's completed 67% of his passes, and he's got over 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 picks. So he's playing well, right? In other words, he's not the problem, right? He's not the issue, although it was a bad sack fumble last week, but nevertheless, he's not the issue, right? The defense is bad. I agree with you with Sean Payton. In this sense, I'm not going to say Sean Payton's not a good coach. I do think Sean Payton is still a good coach. I think he does have established enough pedigree. And he's kept, when you look at the Saints, and he did win a Super Bowl, he's a Super Bowl winning coach, and he's always kept the Saints very, very competitive. Playoffs every year, they have really good teams. And not only that, but, if it wasn't for the bad call with the Rams, they're probably in the Super Bowl that year that the Rams went. So, it's I don't want to take away from Payton. The thing I ridicule Payton for, obviously, and he's getting vilified and ostracized for, is his demeanor towards everything, right? His arrogance coming in and just, obviously with a hot mic saying what he said about Nathaniel Hackett, and then everything looks bad. Now what he's doing, he's pretty much saying, look, this ain't my team. This is a team I inherited. These are not my guys. So we're looking bad. We're not really a good team. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start the fire sale, right? I'm going to just open it up. Everybody come, get your pickings, all right? Just give me some compensation for it. I'm going to build through the draft. I'm going to get the guys that I want because I intend to be here for, long term. And, hey, listen, this is really about Russell Wilson if there's anything else, right? Now, we know this is a team sport, but if Russell Wilson plays well enough that Sean can say, okay, I want him to be my quarterback, because I think really that's what's happening. Russell Wilson is playing to see if he can play for Sean Payton. And Sean Payton is evaluating really, but one guy. I mean, he's evaluating a team, and that's why he's getting rid of people. But at the end of the day, it's the quarterback position, right? Can I go long-term with this guy, Russell? So far, Russell has not been the problem. He's played very well. So we got that much locked in, and it's now a determination to be made whether Sean wants to continue with Russell Wilson as his quarterback in the future. But everybody else, doesn't matter. I'm getting rid of everyone. And that's his way of his way of eating humble pie, to just go ahead and get rid of everybody, right? I'm not going to sit back and endure this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a scenario where I'm going to get rid of guys. Now people will talk about the team blowing up and the fire sale as opposed to our performance, because really there's nothing to look at here, right? Keep it moving. This is not a scene we all need to see. So we got to really evaluate Sean Payton come next year, I think. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in all fairness, yes, he shouldn't have said what he said about Hackett and so forth and so on, but I do think that he is still a very good coach, and I think that we have to look at him fairly come next year. And I am that type of person, right? Again, Mike McCarthy came in. We had Mike Nolan, who was our defensive coordinator, and historically, he coached the worst defense in the history of the NFL's existence, okay? Mike McCarthy had to let the guy. Well, actually, no, I retract. Let me retract there, America. He actually brought Nolan in, so that was actually McCarthy, right? But here's the thing: what McCarthy's saying now, right? Kellen Moore's gone. He had some philosophical differences with Kellen Moore. Now McCarthy, and I give him credit for this, right? I'm going to take the lead, and I'm going to call the plays now. So if Dallas fails this year, it's on me. And McCarthy might say, hey, I'm good. Fire me if you want. I'm gone. I'm going to get the win. Doesn't matter to me. I got $35 million guaranteed. I'm straight. I'm going to take your money, Jerry, and I'm going to go back to the mountains or go back up in the snow caps of Wisconsin, and I'm going to just chill. Doesn't matter. But I'm going to take the heat, because if I'm going to lose my way, doing it my way and my thing, right? Same thing with Sean Payton. He's going to have to get the guys that he wants. And because why? Sean Payton is a builder. Like a great coach, they build. They don't just come in and walk into a situation. They like to pick. They like to draft. They want to develop. They want to build the culture that they want to have. And this team does not have that. So you got to give Sean a little time there. But they are going to lose tonight, though. So in the midst of all the rebuilding, they'll take it out. And that's right. that's how I look at that.
Right. Yeah. So do you have a score?
My score tonight for that game, I'm going to go 38-20.
38-20.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kansas City is a 10.5 point favorite. Over under is 47. So that's That's kind of disrespectful to Denver.
I mean,
I guess, yeah.
I mean,
Kansas City hasn't been
defense
great.
is bad. No, their defense is not great. I mean, they're not great, but I mean, I think they'll put up some. It's the scheme, D. It's the schemes. It's Reed. It's Mahomes. Like you and I can line up with Kelsey, and we're gonna have a good day. You know what I'm saying? Because all Mahomes is gonna say, just run to that spot right there. I got you. That's all you need to do. Just turn
the
around.
Ball will be waiting for you.
It'll be waiting for you right there. That's all you gotta do. Just get to that spot, and the ball. When you get there, the ball will be right there. It'll be waiting for you.
Right.
This
is true.
So,
so what was your score again? I'm sorry. You
38-20. 38-20.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like Kansas City. Obviously, I have actually, and I'll say this: I have Mahomes and Kelsey on my fantasy team, so I want them to ball out. I'll go with Kansas City 35, Denver 24.
35-24?
35-24.
Okay.
Okay. So real quick, you had mentioned there's a fire sale. Frank Clark, I think, is going to be, he's the next one. They got rid of Randy Gregory already. Thanks. We got him. Appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Frank Clark took a salary restructure, and now, so he's only getting, but his pay is now $846,000. So the only problem with this is when you start unloading players and the other teams know that you want to unload, they may either, unless they really want the player, just wait for you to cut them, and then they can get them for nothing. Right. Or they determine the terms. Why am I giving you any draft capital or assets for somebody that you really want to get off of? You know? So I don't know if Frank Clark, I don't know if people are going to jump on it. I don't know if people are going to wait and just say, okay, Sean, you got to cut him before this game, and then we'll see what happens. So, or they may work it out and say, hey, give us a pick swap in the 7th round. If they feel like, hey, I want to be first, and this is a player that I think adds. But we had some significant, before we close, let's really talk about the significant injuries that we had recently, this past week. Justin Jefferson, hamstring. They put him on IR. Now, what's interesting about Minnesota and Justin Jefferson, he's due for a big contract. Very big. He's going to make a lot of money. Yeah,
everybody in Minnesota is going to have to chip in. All the citizens chip in. For
everybody.
Exactly.
They're going to have to chip in. So the incentive is at this point, they're 1-4, right? Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins, this is his last year, and there was talk that he didn't want. They had tried to sign him to a long-term deal, but he wants to, I don't know how true this is. He wants to continue to play with Kirk Cousins. So he's going to determine if he signs an extension, depending on where Kirk Cousins goes. I don't know how true that is. I read that. I don't know how accurate it is. That doesn't make sense. But Kirk Cousins is out of there. The chances of Minnesota re-signing him, slim to none.
Yeah.
And now teams that are 1-4 really have to think and consider, should we just continue to tank and be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes at this point? There are certain teams that, Sean Payton may be considering that. Okay, like we said, can I win with Russell? If not, should we just continue to unload players, make sure that we have, cap space for big name free agents, and then just get cheaper at the quarterback? I mean, that's the key to building a team. When you have 40, 50, 45, $60 million quarterbacks, your team better have all the other positions better be rookies. They better be getting paid nothing. So the quarterback, big contracts with quarterbacks is not the way. So maybe teams are trying to get leaner.
Of course, now you say that, but you got to remember, you're going to be in that every good team has to cross that road. So
we do, but as long as we have a little bit of jewelry for it, it's all good. I'm sure they'll pay.
Well, yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
See,
go ahead.
You always want to try, and I didn't want to bring up the Niners, but
I'm just trying to say, like, you saying
us,
you can't big $60 million quarterbacks, you can't win, but that's what's going to end up happening. You think Purdy is going to? Let me tell you something, okay? Purdy is going to rob every bank in San Francisco, son. Okay.
Purdy is okay
so you know.
with having a roommate. Hey, listen, why can't Purdy be our Kawhi Leonard, right? Kawhi Leonard is a humble guy. He was driving a 2002
but that'll mean he didn't take the bag, though. He's still gonna get the bag
eventually.
Yeah.
If Purdy, I think,
Purdy
is going
to want the bag.
He's going to get paid, no doubt about it. But he's going to
prioritize players. Yeah,
he's going to prioritize winning. Also, he's going to prioritize winning, and
you hope he has the Tom Brady mentality where he takes cuts.
Yeah,
kind of like even what Mahomes is doing to a degree. You know
right?
What I'm saying?
Take a team friendly. You're going to get your money, but we're going to give you such a large contract because you're young. We'll spread it out over X amount of years, and you're going to be paid. Listen, if you made $800,000 and someone said we're going to give you $25 million, well, I'm just using these numbers.
Yeah.
That's a huge difference. That is a life-changing generational wealth. You're getting generational wealth. I'm not saying that's what he's going to go for. I'm not. I'm being realistic, but I'm just saying.
No. I know what you're saying. Well, they did the same thing with Dak, right? Dak played a rookie deal. So you're almost saying, like, look, if we give you this much, you still should be like overwhelmed with that, right? With joy that you're going from $800,000 on a rookie deal to now you're going to make, $30 million a year. And it's like, well, no, I don't care about that. I want what I want. And so Purdy, the money that you're going to give him, it's going to be exponentially more, obviously, than what he's making now. But that doesn't mean he's going to settle for just for that. He's gonna want to get paid. Trust me. All that stuff goes out the way. That's why they got agents, right? And that agent is going to come and he's going to be on the phone with John Lynch, and they're going to have a lot of interesting conversations. You know what I'm saying? And John Lynch somehow is going to say, well, Purdy is good, but he has help, and that's why we need to keep the team together. He's singing his praises now.
And Purdy should know that. And Purdy should know that. Purdy should know that.
Of course, he knows it's a business.
Purdy knows it, and he understands. So I think Justin Jefferson is really he's going to get paid, but if the team is losing, and he's gone a minimum of 4 weeks. By the time he comes back, if they're, they have 3 wins in for the season, and they're like, it may not be advantageous for him to come back. I mean,
no, I don't think they would bring him back. No, I don't think they will.
It doesn't make sense at that point,
especially if they're still losing. No, it doesn't make sense.
He's a huge investment, and so it wouldn't make sense for them to bring him back.
I totally agree.
Anthony Richardson, he's had a rookie season. He showed glimpses of being really good, mobile. He's able to play, but he's been knocked out of 3 out of the 5 games he's been in so far. And now he's on IR. He has a grade 3 AC joint issue. And now they're talking a minimum of 4 to 8 weeks. Well, if it goes, that season's over. Like, Gardner Minshew is your portion at that point. Because really, why would you bring him back? If he's gone for 8 weeks, why would you bring him back this season? It really doesn't make sense. Unless the Colts are right there and they're able to win the division, which the division still wide open. I don't think the Jaguars automatically have a lot because we've seen, different sides of Trevor Lawrence. He looks good sometimes he looks like trash. So I think possibly that's the only reason I would bring him back after 8 weeks if it goes as long as 8 weeks.
Right.
But other than that, why would you bring him back? What do you say?
I agree. No, I agree. Look, he's a really good quarterback. He gives you a lot of dimension. Clearly, he has a futuristic role in this team, right? Being their quarterback when they drafted, so their number one pick, right, for the Colts, that is. So again, much like with Jefferson, the dynamics are clearly different, but the reality is, stick it out, right? Because this is what you got to be patient with. If you got a young talent like that, let him get healed, because they also said he still could require surgery. So if he gets surgery, it's definitely a wrap. So forget about it. He's going to end up gone for the year. If he can get healed without the surgery, 8 weeks, and to your point, depending upon where they stand, what they're looking like record-wise, and because that division is still pretty much up for grabs, right? The AFC South. So, if they're still competitive and they're only maybe, if they're still at 500 perhaps, or even if they're a game under, a game over 500, then yeah, you think about bringing him in there and then you let him play. But again, it's more about their health. You got to consider his health more than just the status of the team and their ability to make the playoffs. Because if he's not healthy, you don't want to risk a setback, and then now you could end up losing him for further time and compromise his being ready for next year. So I'd say, let him chill. You know what I'm saying? Let him chill, and you work it out and do what you can do. You know what I'm saying? With your backup until further notice. That's just what you got to do. That's how I see it. They got a still good. You got your running game back now, right? You got your boy back. Taylor's back. And by the way, D, kudos for you. I think you said it. Because I didn't think he was going to get his bag, but he got his bag. So I think you called it, if I'm not mistaken. So, they got other ways they can try to keep themselves competitive. That's all. And look, and it's not like Richardson was like the guy that was like over the top. It's not like he was like to my mind, this real big, huge difference maker, right? But he is a good player that you want to have on your team, and you want to see how he will unfold for the rest of the year. But since you don't have that, you can still win with the guys you have now. In other words, I'm not saying he was head and shoulders above. And Minshew, I think, is a good quarterback.
I think so. He's definitely a good backup quarterback that can step into a role. You got a running game. Zach Moss balled out last week.
I mean, I don't know what it was. He must have been like, yo, I know y'all talking about Taylor,
he's been playing well the whole time.
He has.
So that's a good problem to have. You got Zach Moss, and so his play also gives you opportunity to bolster your team. Yeah. You can trade him away. You can always use a running back. Teams can always use a running back. So he's showcased his talent enough. Or you may say, hey, we want to keep you because we know if, God forbid, something happens to Jonathan Taylor, we got you and you can step right in and our team doesn't skip a beat. Now, obviously, he's not as good as Jonathan Taylor, but I'll say this, he has balled out. And so they have him for draft capital. They have him, as a 1-2 punch, thunder and lightning. They have, so they're not out of it. Gardner Minshew, they have, Michael Pittman. Yeah. So they have players.
Yeah, Pittman is good too. Yeah.
They have players that they can still push to win this division. It's not over. It's not like Anthony Richardson is out and now we're done. We're dead in the water. So they have a chance. That division is weak enough that it's still up for grabs.
Totally agree.
2 more people and then we're done.
Okay.
Let's talk about now with the brace that typically he has around his neck, that foam, that Count Dracula type of, I don't understand how his neck could get hurt. Yeah, but Van Der Esch is on IR because of that. Yo, that joint is crazy. Oh God! That how do you have all that?
Up, man. Why?
I'm telling you, I don't know how can you get hurt if your neck? How? I don't know. But in any case,
on his neck.
we know that he has he's out. He had a bad, and it was friendly fire. So it was no dirty play by the Niners. It was friendly fire. Took out Van Der Esch. So he's out for a minimum of 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. They probably would want him to come back because unlike the other teams that we discussed that are dealing with IR, the Cowboys are very much still in the playoff picture. So it's not like, okay, Van Der Esch, after 4 weeks, we dropped 3 or 4 games and might as well keep you for, next year or whatever.
Right.
I think they'll definitely need him back for the playoff run. And it gives backups the opportunity to step up. And, unfortunately for him, if his replacement is better than him, then they may think, okay, well, maybe since you have you're injury prone, and it always seems to be the neck, ear, neck, and throat. It's one of those things is always, then we need to maybe move on from you. So that might be his opportunity, the backup's opportunity to showcase their skills and see what happens. What do you say?
Well, I mean, look, LVE is really good. He really is. He's been very solid for us since coming out in college, and he was our first round, first round draft pick. Yes, he's our first round draft pick, and so I like LVE. He's really good. He's really solid. Run, particularly against the run, and sneaky even in the pass rush as well. He's a big loss for Dallas. I talked about Damone Clark, who I think can fill in kind of nicely. Damone Clark is a really good linebacker. You could bring Bell. Marquise Bell can come in from the safety spot. You also got Jefferson. That's the kid I was thinking about, Malik Jefferson. You can bring these guys in to help. Now, Dallas did sign just earlier today Rashaan Evans. Okay, he was a former number one draft pick. All right, back a couple years ago. For Tennessee back in 2018. So he's kind of moved around, been on some practice squads. Obviously, he didn't live up to the hype, but we got him just basically for some depth. All right, he played for the Falcons and a couple other teams there. So we'll see what he can add. We'll see what he can do, just more for depth, if anything else. And hopefully these guys can hold it down. You can't put Micah back in the linebacker position because you need Micah to rush the quarterback. So you still need him on the edge. So because technically Micah Parsons is not a linebacker anymore. He's really a DN, right? So it's hurtful. It's a big loss for Dallas. Already losing Diggs for the year. That's huge. And so and then Donovan Wilson may not even play either. Our starting safety, he may be out. So that's a blow for us as well. Come Sunday. So. Yeah, I mean it's pretty bad. We got our butts kicked on Sunday, and then we also came out very wounded. So we're losing Turpin and LVE, and now Donovan is nicked up. He may not play. So it's pretty bad. Yeah, losing LVE is huge. That's huge. So we'll try our best to hold it down. We'll see what Quinn can come up with to keep us afloat as best as we can. So
Yeah. Hopefully everything works out for you guys. Lastly,
you know what?
Let's talk about Achane for Miami, who has, listen, this guy has been balling out.
Yeah, he's been balling.
Balling out.
Balling. Yeah,
an amazing running back. I mean, and
like every time he touches the ball,
it's unbelievable
crazy,
how much speed Miami has.
Yeah.
I know Corey is excited. He's
happy. Man.
Miami's speed is, every week
they're outrunning each other.
22 miles an hour, 23, 21. Yeah. The top 6 speeds on any given week, at least 3 or 4 of them are Miami players. You have Mostert, who's a track star, right? That's by his craft. He's a track star. In a running back's body. So he's amazing. Achane, you have, of course, Jalen Waddle. You have the cheetah, right? Tyreek Hill. So the speed, and we know speed kills, right? These teams, if you allow these players to get behind your defense, it's to the house. When Cheetah puts up them little 2 fingers, it's over. That means you have no chance of tackling me. You have no chance of doing anything.
No chance.
And then they have what's the guy's name? He's on IR that he's coming back. Miami has Wilson, Jeff Wilson. Wilson's coming back from IR. So I know Corey has Achane on his fantasy team, and he acts like it's not a big deal that they lost him for 4 weeks.
Oh, he's hurting. Trust me. As a fan,
hurting.
He's
hurting.
He's hurting.
And when your team, when you have a player that is explosive as Achane has been, he's a rookie, and he wants people to change his name, Achane and Achon, and he wants people to, you're balling out when you tell people how to pronounce your name.
Yeah, because they want to get it right now, right?
Exactly, right. You wasn't just, draft pick number whatever.
Right.
You tell them, no, excuse me, reporter, I want you to call me Achane, and you putting hyphens in between.
That's it. Whatever you got to do to enunciate
I think it won't utterly affect them. Now, they have depth at running back. They have some speedsters, so I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. What do you say?
No, I think that's a huge loss still, nevertheless, because you just got it's another nightmare for the defense, right? To have to worry about that guy and their running game that's already legit. You know what I'm trying to say? And I don't know what this is right here, Don. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is. I think this is what is this, America?
Is that a gray hair?
I don't know what that might be.
Is that leftovers from last night?
It could be. I did eat before the show started, and I didn't check the beer.
It's gone now.
It's gone now, right? Okay, it's gone. I'm sorry.
This portion is brought to you by Grubhub.
Right. They're our new sponsor, by the way.
This is our new sponsor, Grubhub.
Grubhub, right.
Eat now or later.
It ain't right.
Lou Albino is our sponsor. Remember he used to have rubber bands in his beard?
Oh, rubber bands.
Yeah, all kind of stuff.
Man.
It's all good, man. We did a whole show with you and food.
With me and food. And if it don't get in your beard, it wasn't good. It's got to get in the beard.
I'm telling you.
If food ain't in the beard, then the food wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Grubhub. But listen, right? But it's yeah, but it's just losing him is huge. Miami's still going to function. I still think they're going to do well offensively. And again, another schematic type coach that understands the new age of football and understands how to scheme guys. And who knows, there might be another A-can sitting on the bench and we don't know about it. He's going to come out and ball. So, McDaniels will have it under control. They'll do well. Most of those guys will still pick up. They still got guys that can still do their thing. And, so it should be, they'll be fine, but they'll be even. It's going to get worse for teams as the year goes along once they get him back. So hopefully this injury doesn't derail him though. Cause sometimes running backs don't always perform at that electrifying level after they get hurt. That's what I'm concerned about with Pollard. I'm still looking at Pollard. I don't see that burst he had last year and in the 3 years prior with Dallas. He would just hit that hole and go. I see it at times. It's there, but it's not to that level that it was, it seemed. But
it's very different when, I'll say this. It is different when you are a secondary piece and you become the man. Right. So
that's fair. Yep.
AB and Schuster, right? Remember when Schuster was getting off, and then you had Big Ben throwing to Schuster, and he was getting off, and so AB had so much attention on him. Right. Schuster looked like, oh man, well he's younger, and maybe he's better than AB.
Right.
Soon as AB left and Schuster was the main dude, we saw that he was average. He was just an average receiver. Yeah. A jag, just another guy.
Just another guy. That's it.
I say all that to say that might be the case. When you had Zeke, right? And Zeke was the name, he had the name recognition and was kind of the battering ram. And so, Thunder and Lightning. And what was what the cute little name your team had? Speed and Feed and all that.
Yeah, Speed and Feed. That's right. Yeah, Speed. See, you remember Speed and Feed.
Yeah, it was nonsense. Yeah, nonsensical Speed and Feed. Speaking of feed, there was still a little bit of feed on your beard. So that was a
little bit of Zeke. Add some Zeke in there. You know what I'm saying? Now he's officially gone.
Right, exactly. Oh man. So right, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We got some interesting injuries. Knock on wood, Niners are still intact. Although I'll say this, and then we're definitely done. Okay. Elijah Mitchell.
Oh, is he playing?
He hadn't practiced. Yeah. He still didn't practice yesterday. So we'll see what happens. Mason is balling out, and of course CMC is doing his thing. But Elijah Mitchell, he's a six.
I'll take that back.
Yeah, we need him. Of course, we need him. Of course, we need him.
CMC, you don't want to keep overusing him.
February, we want him to do that. What he's been doing over the course of the first 5 weeks, we want him to do that in the first week of February.
I agree.
Right, that's our focus. We don't care. I know it's Spanish Heritage Month. It actually is Spanish, but we want him to do that in February. Black History Month. We want him to do that in Black History Month.
Right. But
that's when we want him to ball out. We want CMC to do it in Black History Month. We love Spanish Heritage Month. Shout out to all my Latinos.
All
we love you guys.
We love you.
But we need CMC to do this in February.
For the people. In February. That's
Power
right.
to the people.
Power to the people.
We need him to do that then. But in any case, shout outs to Kingdom Creator for the production. Gosh. Shout outs to Infinite Audio for the music.
Shout out, guys. Y'all are
doing this was a fantastic show, man. I appreciate it. Everyone, please do us a favor.
Yeah.
Like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page.
Yes, please.
Make your focus YouTube first. We want you to focus on our YouTube.
Yeah, we're trying to build our platform on YouTube.
We want you to subscribe, hit the little bell, so every time we put up this great content, you get notified. And when it comes up, share it. Replay it. If there's comments that you want to make, please make the comments. We'll read them. We'll respond. And, if there's show topics you want us to talk about, we'll talk about it. We appreciate you guys joining us today. Rod, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the food that was also out. We had a co-host.
Right.
Yeah,
we had some leftover Zeke. That's it. Leftover Zeke.
Right.
Now you're officially gone, Zeke. Done.
Right, you are done.
Right. You're dead to me. You're no longer right. Exactly. No longer.
But in any case, man.
But anyway,
listen, great show.
Great show, D.
Like, share, subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page.
Please
we
do.
appreciate it. Until next time, peace.